Hi, friends. Are you afraid of unseen passages? No, not at all. Why? Because I am here. Your friends, your trusted friends, your most trusted friend. Ready to explain all the unseen passages for you. That is making unseen seen. Okay? So let us start with the first passage, study of poetry. I will read and explain, and then we will together answer the questions. As a high school student, studying poetry can be a roller coaster ride. Roller coaster ride means something that is very amusing, interesting, and so on. This journey means studying poetry is punctuated by stopped at intervals by punctuation, comma, semicolon, and so on. So, punctuated by moments of profound appreciation, great appreciation for simpler pieces, simple poems you appreciate, and intermittent frustration. Frustration means disappointment, intermittent means happening at intervals, at times, intermittent frustration with more complex works, difficult works. Let's be real here. Some poems are just plain confusing, and no amount of rereading seems to help decipher, explain the or find the meaning, intended meaning. Some poems are simply confusing. You can't do anything with that. The puzzlement, the difficulty that results from such instances, such poems, can be both vexing, troubling, and demotivating, stopping your motivation. That is, stopping your desire to read poems. If solving a riddle is what was intended, means something that is difficult is what was intended, then playing Sudoku is a better option. One is led to ponder if obscurity was the goal. Ponder means think seriously. Obscurity means hidden things. Was the goal, means the aim. So when you read plain confusing poems, that means totally confusing poems, you are puzzled. They put you in difficulty. Whatever effort that you put on, what happens is that you are unable to understand the poem, and so sometimes you think that the poet's aim is to confuse you or to create a problem for you that you cannot solve at all. Conversely, on the other hand, some pieces resonate with the reader's soul. Resonate means having the same feelings. You expect that the poet should write a poem on love, then you come across a poem on love that is resonate with the reader's soul, stirring feelings of warmth, moving feelings of warmth, friendship, happiness, and connection to the world. Often these compositions center on themes, means their main themes are universally understood by all, such as love, nature, or faith. Being able to actually understand what the poet is trying to say can feel like a little victory and is a welcome relief after grappling with more perplexing poetry. Grappling with means struggling with. We have seen the first paragraph, plain confusing poems. You struggle with it, and then you come across a simple one, something that you like, something that you expected. Perplexing poetry means troublesome poetry or complex or difficult poetry. Okay, so two paragraphs. First one is about plain confusing, and the second one is about poems that you like to, themes that you would like to read, such as love, nature, and say, faith, and so on. Then there are poems that are emotionally charged, the ones that make the reader curl up in a ball and cry. That means, but it is just like, if you read horror classics like Dracula, and especially at midnight, sitting in your midnight alone in your study, if you read Dracula, you have this feeling of curling up in a ball and crying, or jump up and down with joy. So both ways. One is that you are afraid, terribly frightened. The second one is you are very you enjoy emotionally charged poems. One is left in awe of the poet's ability to convey emotion through words. Now, writing word, putting a few words together, the writer can convey emotion. For example, you have heard of this "to be or not to be" famous quote from Hamlet. So one is left in awe. Awe means respect and fear for the poet's ability to convey. Means you are wonderstruck and thunderstruck, and you see the poet's ability. Let's not forget the downright weird poems. Weird poems means poems about unnatural things like ghosts or devils or witches or murders and so on. That is ghosts appearing, magic, and so on. These are downright weird poems. These are the ones that defy categorization. You cannot categorize them, classify them. You cannot say this is this and that, simple or complex, things like that. You cannot say because they are they refuse to be classified and leave the reader to their own devices, their own methods in attempting to interpret meaning. So such poems, what you have to do is you have to find your own method to understand that poem or try to find the meaning. The author's use of figurative language and unconventional imagery can create a sense of bewilderment, means surprise, astonishment. You are amazed at the figurative poetic language used by the poet, or unconventional means not normal. No, it doesn't mean abnormal, but something that is what you call only poets can write here. Unconventional, not easy, not found, normally not found. That is unconventional imagery can create a sense of bewilderment, astonishment that is either intriguing. Intriguing means putting you in thoughts which you trouble you, and off-putting or maybe simple. That is, regardless, in spite of this, the reader can appreciate the uniqueness, the special quality of the work. So that is another thing. That is, some poems they are very emotionally charged, and these emotions are created by language, putting together putting words together, using figurative language, poetic language, and unconventional imagery. Despite the wide range of emotions and reactions that come with studying poetry, can be a rewarding pursuit. Rewarding means great. You feel like you have accomplished something, you achieved something. Something that is study of poetry can be very rewarding. Not only does reading poetry allow one to appreciate the artistic beauty of the written word, but also enables one to develop crucial critical thinking and analytical skills. Say, for example, Robert Frost's famous lines, very simple: miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. See, words are repeated, but there is an artistic beauty in that. And crucial critical thinking, then what will you think? It has got many dimensions for us. One is that you have to go miles to reach your destination. The other is your life. Look at that. So you start thinking about that. And analytical skills, logical thinking skills. The process of unlocking a poem's meaning. Unlocking means finding out the meaning. Can feel like cracking a code, or like as you can see in computer, no? Or solving a puzzle, computer language. Solving a puzzle, but puzzle means a riddle, but the sense of accomplishment, achievement derived from getting from mastering a challenging piece, a difficult poem, can be deeply gratifying, pleasing. Finally, impressing an English teacher with a well analyzed poem can be a source of pride and validation. So you go to your English teacher, most your dear English teacher, and say that, "Sir, I have mastered this poem." So then it will be a source of pride. You feel proud of yourself, and you get a validation. That means a certificate from your English teacher. Overall, studying poetry is like a box of mixed chocolates. So you put your hands in a box of mixed chocolates, you get variety of them. Exactly like that, the studying poetry too. You never know what you are going to get. But whether it is complex, emotional, simple, or just downright vague, means emotionally charged, or poems about unnatural things beyond metaphysical points and so on. There is always something to be gained from the experience. Experience that here means study of poetry. So let's applaud all the poets out there. Applaud means appreciate. Clap your hands for making us laugh, cry, scratch our heads. When do you scratch your heads? When you don't understand something and occasionally feel like a genius. So that is when you master a poem, when you find out the meaning of a poem. That is what we have seen. So you analyze the poem, well analyze the poem, you master a poem, then you feel that you yourself is a genius. Now you yourself are a genius. So here it is. You have got questions here. Which of the following statements best describes the author's attitude towards studying poetry? To save time, I have marked the answer. C. Recognizes the challenges of studying poetry but also acknowledges the rewards it offers. Question 2. What's the tone of the writer in the given lines from paragraph 1? Rationalize means support your response in about 40 words. If solving, as we have already seen, it is one of frustration. If disappointment and demotivating, if solving a riddle is what was intended, then playing Sudoku is a better option. One is led to ponder if obscurity was the goal, because the puzzlement that results from reading such poems, such pieces, can be demotivating, demotivating, and you may think that it's just the poet is creating riddles and problems for students, especially class 10 students. Study of poetry, that is. So we can expand on that. Third one is complete the sentence appropriately. The author's use of vivid imagery in the paragraph 3, such as scale up in a ball and cry and jump up and down with joy, greatly affects the reader because they are such poems are downright weird poems and they defy classification. The passage includes some words that are opposites of each other. From the sets below, find out the two sets of antonyms. One is A, intriguing and off putting, and B, simple and challenging. And with question number 5, complete the sentence appropriately. We can say that the author's tone becomes more neutral and objective when discussing weird poems compared to other poems of poetry because they defy classification, and the student or the reader has to find his own methods of analyzing and trying to find out the meaning. And 6, based on the reading of the passage, examine in about 40 words how studying poetry can be like exploring a new city, but both are challenges and opportunities. Both offer challenges and opportunities. For example, you put your hands in a box of chocolates, you get a variety of them, small ones, big ones, tasty ones, and then what covered ones, uncovered ones. A lot of things are there. Different types of uh, long chocolates are there, short chocolates are there. You see, different of companies are there, different companies and so on. So you don't know surprises, so to say. Exactly like that, when you go to a city, you your eyes meet with surprises you never thought of or never ever seen in your life. So especially when you are going from a village to a city, you will find tremendous difference in between. Say you will find differences between your native place and the city, because in cities you find large crowds moving and traffic and busy traffic, busy people running helter and skelter, the din and the sound, what do you call the disturbances that you you find everything is like every place is like a railway station, a busy railway station. Understand? Find shops selling things which you have never seen before in your life, and then you find people with variety of cultures. You find people of different cultures like that. It's everything is new to you. So you can say like that, and thus you can answer that question. What is the message conveyed by Hina's experience in the following case? we have already seen that persistence makes studying poetry a rewarding pursuit. So what you have to do is that you should not stop. You should not be bewildered by the weird poetry or plain confusing poetry and so on. But don't be demotivated, but persistence. Continue doing that. Then perseverance will definitely will reward you. All right, and the last question from this section is you have got to state whether the following lines are very simple because as you can see now the sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. That's what we say every day. A new day begins, a fresh start, a new start. Birds chirp means birds sing. Nature wakes up, peaceful feeling in my heart. So there's nothing weird about it, nothing complex about it, nothing confusing about it. It's something that you actually wanted to express this feeling, and the poet also expresses the same feeling. So they resonate, so to say. As we have seen now, you saw the in paragraph which paragraph you saw that you say, see, conversely, second paragraph, some pieces resonate with the reader's soul. Same thing. Some here, this piece resonates with the reader's soul, and so it is very simple, my dear friends. Thank you for listening. I hope that you have enjoyed this session, and now please stand by for the next unseen passage. Till we see again. Bye. Have a nice time. Enjoy yourself.